Hey guys, it's Kelly. I did another canvas and it's called Inspired, and I hope you like it. Tons of Tresors de Luxe lace on there. I think it turned out kind of pretty. So this is how it went. It's an 8x10 canvas that was pre-treated, and I knew I was going to use some lace, and I loved to use my Lumiere paint. So I love that combination of paint. It is, hold on. The brown is the metallic rust, and then I use metallic gold, and then I use a heavy body, I show you the paint, but it's a burnt sienna. So, and I like the unintentional brush strokes to it and the different thickness of the paint here and there. It took a long time to dry, but it's worth it. So there's the burnt sienna, and I just loaded the brush and slapped it on in really big blobs unintentionally here and there. Totally made me think of making some fall leaves, which I will have to do that. So once that was all dried, and then I laid out and did some fussy cutting from some paper collections, I'll tell you where it came from. I decided I needed to tone it down a little bit with some gesso, and that is a tub of gesso that I have. It was really, really thick, so I watered it down, and then it was still too thick. So I just rubbed it with my hands, and that wasn't working, so when in doubt, use a baby wipe. So I just blotted it around there just to kind of whitewash it and tone it down. And it worked. I think I toned it down a little bit too much, but by the time I get everything on there, you can barely see it. But it's background, so it's supposed to be in the back. So there's kind of the layout that I'm looking at, kind of, sort of, but it changed directions a lot of times. So I'm just putting a little charm on there because I wanted something to dangle, because you know how much I love movement on my projects. So that is a dangling charm with some chain. And I used glossy accents to put that down, and then put glossy accents on all the butterflies. That is that gorgeous, oh, it's my favorite, the leaf lace from Tresors de Luxe. And I'm just using some vintage photo on the edges. And then I use, oh gosh, peel paint. That's what I used. There I was between, crushed olive, peeled paint. Let's leave them both out just in case I change my mind. I might have used both. I can't remember. And there's my little bin. And PP stands for peeled paint. And I've shown you before, that's kind of how I label my little foam things. So I'm just kind of blotting it on there, and I really liked the hint of green with the vintage photo. I thought it looked very, very earthy. It was nice. So yeah, and the excuse me. Yes, I'm still sick. The paper collections that I used was the I fussy cut that bird cage from the Pink Paisley's Butterfly Garden collection, and then I also used that one block of paper. There is the Prima ledger pad. I got it from there. I probably should have left that doily there. I think it looks good now. It would have been mostly covered up though. But so, and what I did was I just used my Cricut Imagine to cut out that word inspire. And I got it from a cartridge. It's a funky little cartridge called Home Accents. It's got some cool things on there. So I just put the word inspire on there. And I don't know if you can see up, there's like a little dangling bird cage on the far right of the word inspire. That's why I kind of put that on there crooked. So then I was looking at it, and I decided I need to pull out my Timber Brown Stays On ink and use the little cut up makeup sponge that I'm searching for frantically right now. That's what happens when my desk gets like such a disaster. I can't find anything, and I just had it. So it's just a little makeup sponge, not my favorite thing to use, but I don't have a regular sponge that I use for the Timber Brown. So I just used that and went around the outside, went around the edges, and rubbed it all in. So this project was originally a project for a design team project, but the design team, although Lucy and Christy, it was so much fun. I loved being on the team. It was really a good time, but just work obligations and family obligations and some health issues too. But I just knew that I wouldn't be able to commit to that, and really do what I needed to do as a good design team member. So I had to decline for another term, but I think she's choosing a different direction. I think it's a great move for her in the store. I think it'll be good. So, but I have lots of product from being on the design team, so you'll see lots of projects from me still. Design team or not, she just runs a good show, and I just like to, it's just the right thing to do. When you're using somebody's products, you should mention them. And that's exactly what I'll be doing. So, and this, again, like I said, it was originally a design team project, but now it is still going to highlight some of Lucy's beautiful lace, because that leaf lace is to die for. You guys have got to treat yourself and go get some. And I'll have the links to her store and the links to the laces that I used for here. I also used some of her flowers too. So then I finally just determined my layout and how I was going to work it out. And then a lot of you are probably going, Kelly, why are you using hot glue? And here's the reason why. Again, I like movement on my projects. So, and this will be the leaves when a ceiling fan hits it just right, will still blow. And I like that. I liked it. I didn't like it like perfectly glued down and like, I don't know. I like the fact that part of my sign lifts up on the edges, and I like that dimension to it. I just think I like it. So I decided to glue them down and then peel up the edges. I think that gives it dimension and just looks really cool. So that's why I choose to do it that way. And that little charm is dangling too. And I think I mentioned already, I'm not sure, but it was an overnight thing. I glossy accented the real pretty butterfly and all the fussy cut butterflies on here. So, and those flowers on there, the cameo I got from Butterbee Scraps. And Wild Orchid Flowers from Wild Orchid Crafts. Wild Orchid, yeah. Gosh, it's been a long time. And again, all that gorgeous leaf lace. I cut up pieces that I needed to. It's so great to work with. I think that lace is like one of the most versatile to use, because you could cut up and use individual leaves, or however you want to do it. So, and I just hot glue my cameo on there, and then just started hot gluing, and it took a while. I just found my flowers from my stash of Wild Orchid Craft roses, and hit them with Vintage Photo just to kind of distress them a little bit. I used the Martha Stewart Gold paint to kind of highlight. It just adds a little bit of shimmer, and it is light gold. It's the Martha Stewart Metallic Multi-Surface Paint, and it's in light gold. I really like it, and I wanted it to look like fairy dust was sprinkled everywhere, because I do add a little fairy to here at the top, and she has little sparkles on her wings. It's very cute. So just gluing down and fussing with how I was going to add all the leaves and where. And cutting them if they didn't work. And keeping all the pieces, because you can use all those in as fillers in between flowers and all kinds of stuff. And there's that fussy cut butterfly, or moth. Still looks like a butterfly, but and there's the little fairy. She's got her hand out, and it's a tiny little moth that matched from the paper collection, and I just used hot glue. And she's just tucked right underneath that bird cage, peeking out. You have to look for her to find her, and I actually like that. And then her hand is out, and I just put the butterfly right there in her hand. Hopefully you can see it better in the pictures. It might be kind of hard to see in the video, but she's a sneaky little one. So just adding more of the cut up leaves here and there in my spaces that I felt needed to be filled. Excuse me. And then added more flowers. Then my memory card was full, but I actually caught it because it was quiet in my house when I was doing this. I was so productive, it wasn't even funny. And I could hear my video camera, because it's really faint, actually bleep. It gives me an indication that, hey, your memory's full, but I can never hear it. So, and then that is another metal filigree piece from Butterbee Scraps that I've had in my stash for a long time, and I cut it in half. It's a 6-petal flower. I cut it in half and just glued it down so it looked like it was tucked in there. I tucked it in each side of the floral pattern that's going up the corner of the canvas. And then I just did a strip of hot glue down the center of that moth. I think I missed that. Maybe I didn't glue that down yet. It's going pretty fast. It took a long time, but it was really therapeutic. I really enjoyed doing this. It's very, very pretty. I think my grandma would have loved to hang this in her room. Made me think of her. And I miss her. So just tucking in some really, really tiny, tiny roses that I had from Waldoka Craft. They're so pretty. They're so perfect for filling in those little extra pieces, those little extra spots. So, and I got a new tripod. It's actually, I no longer have like a set stick tripod. It's the Gorilla Pod, where it just, you can wrap it around things. I'm really pleased with it. I really like it. So just finishing up all the flowers in there. And an update, because thank you guys so much for all your sweet comments about how wicked sick I've been. An MRI said I had mastoiditis, which is an infection in the bone at the base of your skull. The radiologist said I had that. The ear, nose, and throat specialist says no, you don't. I still can't hear out of my ear. I am still sick. You know, it's just a nightmare. So I'm just waiting to finish my second round of antibiotics and see if it gets better. They got me pumped full of steroids, and we'll see. Quite miserable, but I try not to complain too much because none of you want to hear that. But it is not fun dealing with ear issues. Okay, so then I didn't like how that corner was too plain, so I just inked it up really quick with some vintage photo so that it blended in a little bit better. And then I decided that that little rose that was sitting right there, it's a two-tone rose. I love it. Those are my favorite ones. That with just some flowers on each side, I thought would finish it off nicely. It's like a light pale green rose. And then some little taupe colored ones at the ends, really tiny ones. So I didn't like how that corner was just bare over there. Oh, there it is. I hadn't glued it down yet. So I just glued the body of it down and let the wings bend up. And since it's glossy accented, it's nice and rigid, so it just stays in that. It's really nice. So it's got a nice shimmer to it as well. I'm chopping off all the stems for the flowers, and then I'll talk through a little bit of something that a lot of you already know, but some people don't know it. So I just thought, you know, I'll just share that because it was the last and final edition. So there we go, the last couple flowers. And now I'll talk you through a little bit, and then I'll be back again. Hey guys, I just want to do something real quick. I'm traveling in time because I'll do a voiceover for this canvas. I like how it came out, but I'm kind of all over the place with it, and I probably just repeated myself from when I do the voiceover. But I want to show you guys, a lot of you already know how to do this. I know that. But there are a lot of people watching my videos for the first time. And I just tangled that up. Oh, there we go. And these little coily things are really cool to add. Like, I need something down here. It's very pretty, but it's all kind of mono. So I'm going to show you guys, if you fast forward, if you guys already know how to do this. So what you guys probably saw me in the video. I was clipping off some of these thingamajigger bobbers for my flowers. Flowers come on these things. If you like the stem, leave it on there and curl it. But I like to curl these and use these as little tiny embellishments. So I've got a couple different sizes. I like to use these. These are for making kebabs, just sticks. And then I have this stylus. So just anything round. And I was going to add those, so I'll show you. You just twirl around there, just like that. Instead of throwing away, hold on to a few of them. Twirl it around there. Play with it, even it out, take it off, and you've got a cool little curlicue. And I kind of like to do different sizes. As you can see, I've got all different sizes here. So, and you can do this with wire too, like jewelry wire and things like that. Just make sure you got nice clean cuts on the end. And just wrap it around it nice and tight. You can leave it nice and open or bring them closer together if you'd like. Make them really tight, little springy looking things. Either way, they're really cool little embellishments to your projects. And you just tuck them in. Just tuck them wherever. You can just tuck them right in the middle of the flower if you want. I'm going to tuck a big one right down in there. Oh. And then I just put a whole bunch of hot glue in there and let it sit. Okay? Just want to share that. Ow! Trying to straighten it out. And if it won't straighten up on you, take your wire cutters and cut that darn thing. I didn't like that. I don't like that end. Bye. It's not there anymore. And I'll add a few of these to my final project and I'll call it done. I won't let you sit, you don't have to sit here and watch me do that, but you just glue them in with some glue. Finagle it. Alright, and I'll show you some stills soon. Thank you so much for watching. Mwah! Alright, so here are the final stills. It's kind of hard to see the little coilies in there, but they're in there. They're in there. So thank you guys so much for watching and hanging in there with me. It's about an 18-minute long video, so hopefully you were inspired to go make your own canvas. So thanks again. Don't forget to like, share, and comment.